Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Sparks City Councilwoman Charlene Bybee is here. She's running for Sparks Mayor against Ed Lawson. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome back to the program Charlene Bybee. She is candidate for Sparks Mayor, currently and has been for a long time sitting on the Sparks City Council. Pleasure to have you back on the program.
Glad to be here. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. So I'm glad you're here. You retired quite a few years ago, 2019, but up until then you were flying the first class lounge for a major airline. Mm-hmm. What do you think about what's going on with the TSA not getting paid and people calling in sick, whether they are or not, but who can blame them when they're not getting paid?
Right. I mean, really, I don't blame them. And after a 42-year career as a flight attendant, and so really most of my life living in and out of airports and seeing just TSA and how good they are at some airport. I will have to make a plug for Reno, who does an excellent job in their security. They're thorough and friendly, and I appreciate that. But this situation is just it's frustrating because Congress won't. They're allowing people to have to go through that kind of pain, and it's needless. It's needless. And I saw the arguments of why it's staying closed and who's to blame. I don't buy, because in the meantime, not just the everyday traveler and business traveler, but you've got spring break now. So you're adding to that pain. And it's the whole thing is, it shouldn't be happening. And so I understand with the TSA agents, and they make $50,000 a year.
And so it's not really a millionaire's job.
No, it's not. And it's hard work. And they're dedicated to keeping our airports and our airplanes that I used to work on safe. And so their job is super important. And I agree with, I believe it's Senator Kennedy, who's saying that if the government is shut down, Congress shouldn't be paid. And I agree with that.
Well, the ironic part of all of this is always that everybody gets paid in the end. The problem is that, and we're seeing this to a great extent in Las Vegas, for example, that as you point out, these people don't make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Now food is a problem, gasoline is a problem, and so the casino properties in Las Vegas and other major businesses are now contributing food aid to TSA workers at Harry Reid. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's
just,
not.
and then
How did we get here?
Yeah,
right.
and 3-hour delays at major airports, which then trickle down to the rest of the system.
Right.
It's like Congress. Come on.
Yeah. It shows how little regard they really have for the American people. I'm sorry, but in my opinion.
Well, it would be nice, and I'm going to take a nonpartisan position on this, if both sides, we do have a gang of 8 that works on intelligence issues. Maybe we could have a gang of 8 for common sense issues where they would just get in the room and settle it.
Wouldn't that be something?
Be amazing.
Yeah.
George Washington would come back and congratulate them. All right, let's talk about, you've served with Ed Lawson as the mayor.
Correct.
You're from the same party, even though it's a nonpartisan position. Why are you taking him on? What concerns do you have, if any, with his role as mayor?
I've worked well with Ed for 12 years. And Sparks City Council, we have pretty much a reputation. A lot of times we vote 5-0, 5-0, 5-0 on in agreement, working really well. And so we have worked well together through the years. I want to continue serving, and I'm termed out in November, and I want to keep serving the people of the city of Sparks. And I think what I bring is a whole different leadership style. I am focused on my people skills that I have from my other job of connecting and communicating with people, my communication skills with businesses, with residents, are my strength. And that's very different in how to lead. I am super optimistic. I always look for a silver lining, even when things are rough. I try to find a positive way to get things done, and to also it lifts people up and makes people want to work with you too. In the years that we have served together, really the only major, we've had a few times where we disagree, but not anything big until we had our issue with the city manager, which we did wind up firing. But initially, there were only 3 of us voted to remove him. And the mayor had to vote because we needed 4 council members. So because there were only, it was 3-2, our charter calls for the mayor to cast a vote. It was 3-3 to keep the city manager, and which was a tie. So we kept him another 4 months, and we did eventually let him go. And a lot of it had to do with the city manager's handling of our fire chief that was let go, and the fire chief who turned around and sued us. So the second issue that I was on the opposite side of where Ed stood was on the lawsuit, because that same fire chief sued the city of Sparks. And 2 of us, Councilwoman Vanderwell and I, voted to accept a settlement that our city attorney, Wes Duncan, had settled from $411 down to $170,000. And we voted to accept that. And the mayor didn't get to vote, but heavily influenced, did not want us to pay him a nickel. And really, for me, we had liabilities. It wasn't that I wanted to pay the fire chief, but we were liable because of the city manager's actions. And we held that liability. And I felt on both those issues, on the city manager himself and on that issue, which cost $210,000 more for the city of Sparks, because we did wind up settling 8 months later. So I felt I was on the correct side of both of those.
All right, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of issues that come up over, a 10, 12-year time.
Yeah.
So they may be big issues, but they were only 2 out of all of those.
Correct.
So,
but they were the most major the city of Sparks has faced.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
One of the things that Mayor Lawson said on his program when he was on last week was a lot of the things you're campaigning on are the same things that he's been campaigning on and working on. Do you agree, disagree?
I agree, because we've both been with the city so long. We see what the issues are and what the problems are. So we are in agreement on a lot of things. I think my approach and how I work with people is where we differ. And people say that to me all the time. I work really well with people. And so how we get there is probably a little different.
So you don't think he does?
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I think his communication skills, a lot of times he doesn't, his communication skills are not as strong as mine are. And so people, and I hear that from voters at the door, other people who are frustrated with a lot of things, a lot of challenges that we're facing right now. So how we get there, what our goals are, might not be a lot, different, but how we get there is really the difference.
Does it concern you that there is not much media coverage of Sparks? It's a major city. For those in Southern Nevada that don't know, it's like Las Vegas, Henderson. It's right next door to each other. And it's been booming because of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center.
Right.
Does that frustrate you that there's not more media coverage of the city?
No, because actually I used to, before our fire chief and our city manager issue, I would brag that we just take care of business, that we're not on the front page. Because most times when you're on the front page of your headline news, it usually isn't good. It's not good news normally. So I don't mind not being headline news because we just want to work more like private enterprise. We want to maintain a small city feel. And really, the focus, it would be nice if they were focusing on all the great things happening. But unfortunately, a lot of times it's not. So,
all right, so let's talk about one of the things. John Esquaga would have killed for the redevelopment on Victorian Avenue that has all these tower blocks going up.
Yeah.
And people moving in, which is good for business.
Right.
Because you're going vertical instead of horizontal, that's helpful for a number of reasons.
Right.
That doesn't get more publicity and promotion.
It does when it was first being developed, of course, because it was something so new. And I think now what goes on in Victorian Square and media and coverage of that centers around our special events, which we're known for. And I mean, think about the biggest special event in the region is the Rib Cook-Off, which is in Sparks. Hot August Nights, best venue is in Sparks. Star Spangled Sparks, the only fireworks. So, and a number of others. So Victorian Square, we still have work to do. We still have businesses that are empty. We still have, more economic development that needs to happen. We finally are getting a market downtown because all those people who live in all those apartments, where do they get groceries? So it's a work in progress.
Right, but also with grocery stores, for example, downtown Reno has the same issue,
Correct.
which is you need a population base to be able to qualify to get a grocery store. Otherwise, it's not going to pencil out.
Right.
One of the other sides of this problem, or this equation rather, I should say, is that Sparks is essentially out of land. So
we are almost.
So where do you think we are with the land spills? And do you have any optimism that perhaps in the lame duck session of this Congress, we might see something go forward?
I feel better than I have. And I've been working on that along with the mayor and the city of Sparks on that land spill for the land east of Sparks, that is important to us for growth. And really what we're envisioning in that land is light industrial and manufacturing. And there is a piece for housing, which would help with the Tri-Center and the daily accidents on I-80, which is a whole nother story and nightmare. But it really, that land spill is closer than it's ever been. I'm hoping Amadei, before he's gone, can push it over the finish line with Senator Rosen. So I feel better about the land spill than I have in the past. It's been a lot of politics, and getting something done federally is huge. So that is absolutely, it'll take some housing, but really we're looking at infill too within the McCarran Loop and where we can make sure that all parcels of land are being used. But to the opposite of that, with our growth, we have the growing pains of all that growth, and it's evident every day on our roads with traffic, the amount of traffic and the wear on our roads and the infrastructure from sewer capacity, fire, police. We're stressed because of the growth. So the fact that for housing, we're close to not being able to build more right now is not a bad thing because we need the infrastructure to catch up.
And that is a very expensive deal.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We're talking with Charlene Bybee. She's on the Sparks City Council, and she's running for mayor after this time out.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The winning is about to hit a whole nother level during the $100,000 March Mayhem giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $15,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Don't miss the mayhem. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Charlene Bybee. She is candidate for Sparks Mayor, currently sits on the Sparks City Council. Union Pacific, there is discussion, studies from RTC about trains going from Reno and Sparks into the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. As you mentioned earlier, the problems on I-80 are huge, although they will be resolved, but it's going to take several years before the widening of I-80 is complete. And good Lord, that is going to be a nightmare just to live through that.
Yeah.
But what do you think the chances are? The mayor was not convinced that this is going to happen. He thought the UP would throw up a lot of roadblocks. People who called me after that interview said that there is leverage from the city of Sparks and from the city of Reno that UP needs things as well, and that at the right time, this might be a done deal. Your thoughts?
I'd like to be optimistic about that. It's a little tough because of our recent experience with Union Pacific, saving our our two buildings. They're historic buildings, and they were difficult to work with, but. At the end of the day, I would love to see rail. I would love to see that as an option to utilize rail to help with that problem on I-80. And the thing with I-80, it's so frustrating because NDOT should have been widening there. It should have been widened 5 years ago. NDOT knew when Apple...
It's $1 billion.
Well,
that's
Apple
the
came
problem.
Out, but they've known. How long have they known? Panasonic and Tesla have been there a while. Apple was first, but when the whole Tri-Center started booming, they knew what the traffic studies of future traffic would be. And I know that it is going to be really disruptive to get it widened. And I mean, we can't do anything about the fact that we are where we are, but it's in a crisis mode. What people don't realize, it's not just, it's super important, people getting to work and getting home and getting there safely, but it's interstate commerce. And I know the Trucking Association can address that. So we're interrupting interstate commerce every day on I-80 with all the accidents.
Okay.
So I would love to see, I know they're talking about the Boring Company, doing a tunnel, the rail option. I think all options are on the table, and I would support whatever we can do.
And I would just say one thing, that yes, UP has always been a tough negotiator, and they have business all across this country. But Reno lowered the railroad tracks in downtown Reno.
Correct.
With the cooperation of UP. It wasn't an easy negotiation.
That took a while.
It took a while. Yeah. 2 mayors, but they got it done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are possibilities there.
I think everything is possible at the end of the day.
All right, let's talk about one issue I didn't bring up with the mayor, but boy, did I get a whole bunch of phone calls and emails about, was Red Hawk, which is a major development out on Vista. And they have 2 golf courses there and a lot of nice homes out there.
Right.
They want to shut down one of those golf courses and put in additional housing, a lot of additional housing.
Right.
The people that called me were not happy. But it's an economic situation where golf courses across the country are shutting down. We've seen them in the area ourselves. Your thoughts on that whole Red Hawk situation?
Oh, got a lot of thoughts.
Just a light topic for you to jump into here.
It's in my ward. And so in the last month, I have talked to or emailed 132 people on the Red Hawk issue, trying to calm people down, explain the process, that by law, by NRS and Sparks Municipal Code, we have to follow when any land use or amendment to handbooks is presented. So we're following that to the T. We need to. And asking for people's patience as we do that, and we're moving as quickly as we can, but thoroughly. And basically what it is they are asking for 2 handbooks to be amended, Wingfield Hills and Foothills, and then a master plan, as well as all the infrastructure from fire, police, sewer capacity, roads, wetlands.
It's a huge development.
It is, but it's a master plan community, and was set up like that. And really in planning, that's why you do master plans, that's why you do handbooks, is so you know down the line what that land use is, and everyone from businesses to residents can know what to expect. So to make amendments to all of those is really big. So staff met with them last week, had some additional questions. Anyway, they're moving on it, and I'm listening. I'm asking people to reach out to me, and they have, because they're my constituents directly in Ward 4. And to let me know what their feelings are on it. And I will weigh resident sentiments, what my staff, who are the experts, they're the planners, they're the engineers, not me, what they recommend. It'll go to Planning Commission, and then it will come ultimately to the City Council. So at the end of the day, I will make that decision with my 4 fellow council members. The mayor has veto rights, but I will be voting on it. And because of that, in open meeting law and public process, I can't disclose how I will vote. And I don't know if there'll be changes along the way, so I might, what am I actually voting on at the end of the day? And that's a frustrating thing, that I can't tell people how I will vote, because I've got to weigh all these things and then come to the day that it falls before the City Council.
Yeah, but what a great thing that somebody actually has to weigh all the issues, the good and the bad, before they actually make a public pronouncement as to what they're going to do.
Well, and
what a concept.
That's how I operate. That's how I operate.
And it should be the way all people in government operate.
Right.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The road to riches leads straight to the Carson Valley Inn. Cash drawings Thursday and Saturdays. Over 480 winners. Score up to $15,000 weekly. Plus one $10,000 cash winner and the $20,000 guaranteed grand prize giveaways. Free meals, free play, and more. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government. Give and take. We don't give up. We keep working. We keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Charlene Bybee. She is candidate for Sparks mayor, also sits on the Sparks City Council at this time. The Lazy 8 Casino, back in the news. Is this going to happen? And how will that affect other properties in Northern Nevada, from the Nugget to Legends all the way through?
They could build it today when that final settlement with all the lawsuits, and it's civil settlement, and they can build today. They've been meeting with the city since last summer, going over because it's been sitting there so long, what things with the city that they need to run by the city, but the approval is already there. And for that corner of town, I think it'll be a good thing to bring great restaurants, to bring the Peppermill brand. We already have Western Village in Sparks. So I think with that expanding population out the Pyramid Highway, I think it'll be a good thing.
And maybe people won't have to drive into Reno or other areas of Sparks because of the traffic, so that will help there. Right. I asked Mayor Lawson if he was willing to debate on the show. He said yes. You as well?
Sure.
Okay, then we will set that up.
Okay.
Pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Good seeing you.
And we'll be right back.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at nevadanewsmakers.com. And our archive goes back to 2002. So you can look at all kinds of historic interviews right here on Nevada Newsmakers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.